Alright y'all, I'm hunting a new to me area. Wasn't sure what to expect. Still not sure what to expect. It's very monotonous, flat hardwoods. But I found a deer track and a rub just as soon as I left the truck. So that's a good sign. I'm going to be hugging the edges, which mostly means the property lines. So most habitat changes along the property lines. But we'll see what we can find. It's pretty in here, I will say that. There's some deer tracks. High ground is all red oaks and the low ground is all white oaks and other shorter trees. Just nothing but white oaks out there in any of the low ground. No acorns though. It's kind of a bust with acorns, but that means if I do find some acorns, they're probably gonna have deer feeding on them pretty good. Well, nothing's happening here, of course. It's the middle of the day. I've got to thinking I want to check another spot that I've been looking at on the map. Okay, I'm checking another spot out. What it is the corners of two CRP fields come and meet together, and then between those, the other two corners are private properties, and one side is woods and the other side is a field of some sort. On the map it looks like pasture, but we'll find out when we get down there. I'm looking for tracks the whole way. If I get down there and I'm not seeing much sign, there's a deer track and a boot track. So I'm seeing sign already, but if I'm not seeing a lot of sign, I'll back out and go somewhere else. There's quite a few tracks coming out into CRP, like just through here. Trucks down there. The wind is coming this way. I can smell that pine tree, which is good. Well, I want the wind coming out of the woods. Over there is open, and then here's where it starts to get thick about 30 yards into the woods, so I can see why the deer are coming out along that edge. But we got a long ways to go, or a little ways to go anyways. We got some fresh and not so fresh boot tracks. Still seeing a lot of deer tracks crossing. Not many of them are going parallel. They're almost all crossing back and forth. They're not really concentrated anywhere, they're just everywhere. Okay, I'm here at the corner. Here's the next CRP field. You can see it's also been cut around the edge. There's private woods there, and then this private field behind me is cut corn. Seen lots of good sign, but haven't seen oh, there's a tree stand right there. I was gonna say I haven't seen any concentration of deer sign, but there is a stand right here. So you see the property line back there, and then we got this tree stand right there set up on public. It's a nice little pinch between that CRP field and this one, and then that's all private woods back there, and then behind me is a private cornfield. If you look across that field, there's just one little stand of pine trees in there. It's kind of an island. Now it's easy to get to because these fields are cut around the edge, but I want to check it out anyway. So I came in way down there and walked all the way around, and now I'm here. It's just an island of trees. Looks like hardwoods and pines mostly. I'm gonna slip in real quiet. I'm still seeing deer tracks. There's a boot track. Boot track's actually, that's an older boot track. Well, I jumped a squirrel. It's actually pretty open in here. Deer been in here a good bit. The tops of a lot of the sawbriar's eaten off, but definitely not something I want to set up on tonight. I don't think they're really eating sawbriar right now because it's not growing. There's no fresh green tips for them to eat, and there's not much else. There's a little bit of browse, but okay, we're looking back where I came in along these woods here. See how there's a solid wall of trees, you can't see through them? I panned to the left here, right about there. You can see through. Behind that, where the trees aren't tall, that's that thicket. And I consider that probably very good likelihood there's some deer bedded in there right now. I'll probably end up setting up close to it. I just realized this blow down here is a makeshift blind. I can see where they piled some limbs and stuff up. So somebody has been hunting right here where I was wanting to hunt. I was hoping with all the boot tracks everyone was going past it. But somebody has been hunting here. It could still be good, but not really counting on it. I would like to get farther back in, but the boundary is only about 40 yards in, and I really can't get where I want to, so I may have to pick another spot. Well, it looks like my backup spot is no longer a backup spot. Alright, I don't feel like I'm gonna kill something here, so I'm gonna probably go back to where I was scouting earlier. Had another truck drive by real slow just a minute ago. I think it's getting hunted too hard. There's definitely a lot of deer in here, but all the good cover is on private, and I can't push as close as I want to try to catch something before dark. For all I know, they may be coming out here before dark in droves, but I'm not counting on it. I don't think it's the right time, so I didn't see any sign of hunters at the other spot, so hopefully that's true, and we'll see if we can maybe spot a deer this evening. Okay, so I'm back where I was scouting earlier, where it's just flat hardwoods. There's a good deer sign right behind the truck, and going on back, there's kind of scattered deer sign everywhere, but I'm gonna stick to the edge. I'll be near private fields and near the road, of course, in case you didn't notice. One thing I didn't notice the first time I came here is that about 100 yards down the road, there is a pull-off to park, and it looks like people have been parking there, so I didn't know about that. Kind of puts a damper on things, so there has been some hunting pressure in here, but I can only hope nobody's been hunting this edge. Probably won't see anything, but you never know, might shoot a big old doe. This big red oak here has actually dropped some acorns. Alright, my truck's only about 80 yards that way, max. I can see about 50, 60 sitting down. Standing up, I can see a little farther. But property line's behind me, field behind me. I'll be able to at least look at it as it gets dark. The deer movement seems to be kind of scattered all throughout these woods, but behind me is somewhat of a funnel. These hardwoods funnel down to a point behind me at the road, and then across the road there's another big chunk of woods, and that's kind of downwind of me, so I'm hoping deer are on this side working their way towards the fields or just working through the funnel crossing the road. Well, it was a total bust. Going somewhere else tomorrow, so I'll see you bright and early. I'm in one of my doe killing spots this morning. Big Cedar Thicket. And right over here in front of me, it opens up into, well, it doesn't really open up, it just turns into hardwoods, but everything's young and thick. It's just open enough to shoot about 30, 40 yards. And I've done pretty good here in the past, so maybe we'll see some deer. If she blows, she goes. It looked like a good sized doe. We'll find out. Had to take a head-on shot. We got fur. She ran down that way towards the thicker stuff where they usually bed. I'm gonna start zigzagging this way looking for blood. I'm gonna mark the point of impact in case I have to come back to it. One of the does down there is still blowing. Can't see her. I'm gonna try something just for the heck of it. There we go. I swear, I looked at that deer. It's a button buck. I looked at that thing in the scope and did not see that. It was looking straight at me. Yeah, those are small nubs, I guess. Dang it. Didn't run but 40, 50 yards, so it was a good shot. There she goes. Well, I done goofed. Shot the wrong deer, and that doe kept blowing at me even after I found him. I know she's not far, but there ain't no sneaking up on her in here. Just ain't happening in the cedars. You gotta sit low and wait them out pretty much. I'll be back here again sometime. I stop by every now and again. Usually do pretty good in here, like I said earlier. I love hunting with this rifle. It's a lot of fun. Even when it's a dadgum button buck, it's still fun hunting with this old marlin and sitting in cedar thickets. I don't hunt cedars as much as I used to, but every now and again I like to sneak in and sit down. It's real quiet. You can't hear the deer coming, and it's easy to get busted. They usually see you. I guess I will go get the deer cart and get them out of here and make a plan for the evening. I'm back in a spot that I hunted opening weekend of rifle. It's about 2 weeks ago. I had a doe get by me that day. She picked up my ground scent because I walked over there and then came back here and climbed, and she came right down the trail I walked on and got all funny about it. Today I just walked straight to the tree. I think I've got a little better view than I did last time. Got a young buck coming by about 15 yards. It's just about end of shooting light. smoked him with the granola bar.